This is an old mine. It was abandoned decades ago. It's deep, dark and partially flooded. Can our rough science team overcome its dangers and penetrate its depths? Our four pioneering scientists are Ellen Macaulay, an intrepid go-anywhere botanist with a love of all things wild. Mike Bullivant, a chemistry wizard with a wicked sense of humour. Jonathan Hare, the do-it-all inventor, physicist and engineer. And Hermione Coburn, an earth scientist and explorer who never gives up. Their base is an abandoned mining mill way up in the mountains of Colorado. This is High Altitude Rough Science. Mines can pose all kinds of potentially lethal hazards. Flammable gases, lack of oxygen, and of course total darkness. On top of that, these mountains have high levels of radioactive uranium, not something you want to stumble over unawares. So can the team come up with the necessary equipment to allow them to safely explore this mine in just 3 days' time? Day one, and our rough scientists are taking their first glimpse of the mine. Look down there.
Oh, no.
Because by the end of day 3, you guys are going to have needed to explore that mine and come out alive, preferably. I think first things first, we need a portable light source. Any ideas on that?
I can make a torch.
Yeah?
Yeah.
OK.
Maybe something that's waterproof, perhaps.
Waterproof would be good, because it is
rugged.
It is a bit flooded in there. Mines are famous for being full of quite nasty gases or perhaps not enough oxygen. Is there something you can come up with to detect that, not chasing wildlife and catching canaries?
We'll make a minor safety lamp. But oddly enough, to do that, we'll need a flame.
And then I could contribute a candle.
Yeah, good one.
OK. Oh, no buying them in a shop?
No, I'll make one.
Okay.
I'm not sure how I'll do that, but by day 3 you'll have one.
Finally, and perhaps most importantly, this presence of radioactivity in these mountains. Is there any sort of device that you can dream up which is going to tell us about this radioactivity?
Yeah, well, I know of something that I'd quite like to have a go at, where you actually see the effects of radioactive particles. So I think that's something I'll give that a go.
All right. Well, there's quite a lot to do, obviously. We're going to come back here at the end of day 3, but I think you should hot-foot it to the mill and get going. What do you reckon? Go, go, go. As usual, they can use anything they can find in and around the mill.
Up until the beginning of the 19th century, mining was a particularly hazardous operation because they used oil lamps and candles down there to see their way. And those flames from those lamps and candles would trigger explosions of the flammable gases that you find down a mine, predominantly methane. And in 1816, a guy called Sir Humphrey Davy invented a miner's safety lamp, and it's Davy's design that I'm going to try and copy. But for that, I need a gauze or a fine mesh. I mean, something like this, but a lot finer. That won't do. Let's go and have a look over here.
On Challenge Day, Hermione will need to detect whether some pieces of rock taken from these mountains are radioactive. So as a geologist, can you look at a rock and establish whether it is indeed radioactive or not?
No. I mean, there are some uranium minerals that look quite characteristic, but I still wouldn't be able to say just by looking at a rock. I want something that I can test the rock with.
And is there something?
There is. What I'm going to try out, first of all, is a cloud chamber.
Sounds like something from Back to the Future.
Well, actually, it's very simple. I'm just going to make it in this jam jar here. And what the cloud chamber will do is show us the track that radioactive particles take as they come out the rock.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Ellen started on her search for a perfect flame for the safety lamp.
So if we need a flame, a really good way to do that in these parts is to go for some beeswax candles. This protective gear should keep me safe. Let's go.
That's Mike, Hermione and Ellen busy, but what's Jonathan up to? Now then, Jonathan Hare, This portable, reliable light source. You've obviously got something on the go here.
Well, yeah, I mean, the obvious thing is to use batteries. But you know what it's like when you have a torch, you try it, and the light's on, and then you go somewhere and it fails.
Yeah.
Down a mine shaft, that'd be the worst thing.
Yeah.
So the best thing is to make a little generator.
Right.
So that we use our own energy. We don't have to rely on the battery. So what I've got here is a little thing which spins the magnets. I've got magnets on here. And so if you turn that... Now, if you put a coil of wire near turning magnets, you induce a voltage into the coils. That's basically how a generator works. You can see you're making a little voltage.
Oh, look at that. That's extraordinary.
But the great thing about this is that there's no moving electrical connections. So the magnets are moving, but the coil isn't. OK, so...
Why is that important?
Well, because the trouble is, if you have moving electrical parts, you can make a spark.
Oh, and if we've got flammable gas or anything...
That's really dangerous.
Well, that, in theory, is all looking very good. Hermione's ready to work on her cloud chamber, but needs one vital and extremely cold ingredient.
Mikey B!
What's that?
I need your assistance.
Yeah.
I need to make some dry ice from CO2, if you wouldn't mind having a seat. Don the gloves. Put this on as well. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Don't look so worried. What I've got here is a canister of liquid carbon dioxide under high pressure. If you could just hold that. Actually, hold it there. We don't want any accidents. It's just... There you go. Now, I'm going to release some of the liquid CO2 into here. And as I do so, it's going to expand very, very quickly. And as it expands and evaporates, some of that CO2 will freeze into dry ice.
Are you sure about that?
Yep, you ready? Yeah. Don't worry, just a few seconds. Ready? All right. Look, there we are. Solid carbon dioxide, dry ice. And I need this to cool down my cloud chamber.
All right. Will I walk again?
Well, just don't go anywhere for now, because I need a bit more. I'll just...
To make a candle for the safety lamp, Ellen's getting help from some local bees. To calm the bees down, she uses smoke, which encourages them to gorge on honey, a defence mechanism they use in the event of fire. While they're busy eating the honey, Ellen can collect the wax.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, you can immediately tell. There's bees working on it, but a lot less. Because they've already filled it with honey. There's no developing bees in here, and they've capped it off with wax. This is exactly what I want.
There you are. I've been looking for you everywhere. What are you doing down here in the bowels of the mill?
I need a darkened room. I'm playing with flames like Humphrey Davy.
Now, I need to get my head around this lamp that's not a lamp but is a safety device.
Yeah.
Explain.
Right. Well, so Humphrey Davy discovered that when you cool a flame down, you can extinguish it.
Right.
One way of cooling the flame down is to pass it through a metal sieve.
OK.
Because the heat of the flame will be dissipated. It'll be conducted along the metal of the sieve and dissipated. Right?
OK, let's have a
watch
look
what
at this.
happens.
Wow, it doesn't come out at all.
The flame doesn't pass through at all. If I used a sieve with larger apertures,
right.
in other words, there's less metal per square inch to conduct away
so
the
this
heat of
one's
the
got,
flame.
it's got the bigger holes.
This has got bigger holes, less metal. You see, it's not as effective.
Oh, the flame's coming through really quickly.
More quickly, yeah. Essentially, a Davy lamp is just a flame within a cylinder of this gauze.
Right.
Now, when the Davy lamp is taken down a mine and you find methane, a flammable gas, the gas will come through the gauze and it'll catch fire.
Right.
But the explosion and the flame won't pass back through
by
the
the
gauze.
gauze.
It's contained by the gauze.
And then all you need is Ellen to come up with her candle.
With a candle, yeah.
And it's done.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But a candle won't illuminate a mine. That's Jonathan's task.
OK, well, I've experimented with a few coils near the magnets, and this one's 1,000 turns, and it's just beginning to light the bulb. Now, I've got provision for 2 of these coils, so that will double the voltage, so I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get it a lot brighter.
I hope so, Jonathan. Hermione's found an old aircraft dial with a needle that was coated in small amounts of radioactive paint to make it glow in the dark. This will be perfect for testing her cloud chamber. So am I looking at a cloud chamber?
You are. Not one that's working properly yet, but nevertheless a cloud chamber.
OK, so tell me what the sort of component parts are if I want to make my own.
Well, essentially, we are filling the cloud chamber here with alcohol vapour. In this, we're using just a pad soaked in alcohol.
Right.
And I've put it on some dry ice. And because it's got a very, very cold bottom down here, it means near the bottom, the air of the chamber has become super saturated with alcohol vapour. And what that means is it's just on the brink of condensing out and forming little droplets of alcohol. But it can't, because it hasn't got anything to condense onto.
OK, but how does that vapour then tell you that whatever you've put in there is radioactive or not?
Well, this is the clever bit. If you have a radioactive source in there, it emits little particles, high-energy particles of radiation. And they travel through the air and cause, if you like, leaving a trail of destruction. And it's that trail of destruction that the alcohol vapour can condense onto. So in the wake of the particles, you see little wispy trails of cloud.
So that's why it's called a cloud chamber. Absolutely brilliant. So, presumably you haven't got anything in there that's radioactive at the moment because there's nothing happening.
No, well, I do. But I'm just struggling a little bit to set up a nice supersaturated layer.
OK.
And to actually visualise those particles. What doesn't help is that the sun's gone behind a cloud.
So you need a really
We
bright
need a
source
strong
of light.
light source. And what I want to do is use the sun, perhaps tomorrow morning, to see into the chamber more clearly and then pick up these clouds.
It's the end of the first day and not everyone is progressing as they'd hoped. Day 2 and Jonathan and Hermione have been up since the crack of dawn. Hermione is having a rethink.
The cloud chamber with this design hasn't been terribly successful. It's very, very hard to see what's going on. So I'm just going to try a completely plastic version, just a section of this water bottle sandwiched between two bits of perspex so that we can see right in. And I'm hoping that then we'll be able to see it a lot more clearly. Fingers crossed.
Hi there, Julian Toon, Waimea Telecommunications. We install and maintain domestic and commercial satellite TV, UHF Freeview and mainland TV installations in the Nelson, Tasman regions. We specialise in Panasonic telephone systems and provide communications, Wi-Fi, IT and wiring for internet, fibre, computers and DSL systems. At Waimea Telecommunications, we also provide specialist electronic systems for features such as a security camera you can watch on your TV, visitor alert systems and much more. Improve your security and communication and entertainment today. Call us on Waimea Telecommunications on 021 472297, ytel.co.nz.
I'm Larry London from VOA Music Mix, bringing you news on the hour from around the world, plus music 24/7, from the latest hits to those classic favorites to jazz on Saturday mornings, plus much, much more. You can contact us by Googling Mainland TV or follow us on Facebook. Cheers from the team at Mainland Radio 1 and VOA Music Mix.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more. JCar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
And Jonathan's also made some tweaks. You have changed quite a lot.
Yeah, well, I put the coils closer to the magnets.
Right.
So we're picking up more of the electricity. This is slightly bigger. so we're getting a better gearing. So it's really getting there now.
The only thing I would say is, although that seems to be working really well, I just have this vision of you walking down a dark mine shaft with no idea what's underfoot, and you're there desperately trying to crank this. I mean, it just doesn't seem terribly practical, Jonathan.
It would be nice if I could automate this somehow. There's options like with the clocks and a few bits and pieces.
And that will drive it by itself.
Yeah.
And you won't have to be doing that frantically.
Yeah.
Outside, Ellen's preparing her wax extraction. Hey, good girl.
Hey!
How did you get on yesterday?
Brilliantly.
Ooh,
Look at this.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a honeycomb.
Right.
So the majority of it is honey, but that's not what we want. We want the wax.
Okay.
What we want to do is basically cut it out.
Yeah.
Melt it over this double boiler. The honey should sink to the bottom.
Yeah.
The lighter wax should come to the top.
Oh, and then you can skim it off.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Hermione's vandalising an old car, and Jonathan's torch is taking a dunking.
So if I turn the handle, you can see that the light works. So I'm just going to put it in and try it under the water. Oh, yeah. Great. Fantastic. Even works underwater.
And that's good news for a wet mine. With the help of the car wing mirror, Hermione's fixed the light source for her cloud chamber. Kate? Oh, is this Cloud Chamber Mark II?
It is, yes. Here's the source, that little needle.
Yeah.
And what I would like you to do is see if you can adjust. I've rigged up the car wing mirror there.
Oh, yes.
We need the sun sort of shining directly through this hole.
Okay.
And that should give us the light source. Ooh. There it is, there it is, there it is. Can we bring it up, up? There. Perfect. Yep.
Yep. Is it working?
It's working, it's working.
Wow, look at that!
In the sunlight, all those
tiny
wisps
little wisps coming off it.
Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, that's amazing. Success with a strong artificial radioactive source.
I'm so relieved.
But will it be sensitive enough to pick up weaker natural radioactivity? Ellen's wax and honey stew is coming along nicely.
Wow! All the wax has floated to the top. The honey is all on the bottom. It's just like having an oil layer and a water layer. They don't mix. Let's see if we can get some of this wax out of here clean.
Mike storming ahead with the safety lamp.
So what do I need to do? What do you have?
This is our safety lamp. What you've got to do is make a candle that will fit on that plate there. And the sieve goes on top, and then we bolt the sieve down, seal it, and that's our safety lamp.
Oh, no way! Are you saying I only need to make a candle that's 2 centimeters wide and like a centimeter tall?
Yeah, that's all.
I thought we were going to make this long tapered thing. This is fabulous. All right. Okay, good. All right, I can do this.
It's waterproof and it's bright, but Jonathan's still battling to find a way to store energy in his torch. So have you had a thought?
Well, I've been spending the last 2 or 3 hours trying to work out how to power this thing.
Yeah.
Without powering
So you don't have to do this all
the time. Yeah. And here's a nice little clock. So I was thinking about clockwork mechanisms. But that's not nearly as powerful enough to drive this thing. So then I thought, you know, we've got these lovely springs. You must be able to put loads of energy on this.
So that would effectively drive it,
Maybe.
that energy.
Yeah, but I couldn't really see how to do that. And then I had the brainwave I had was that rather than stretching it, you could twist it and store energy, you see.
Right.
So if I wind this up, you can see that it's winding the spring and it's lighting the bulb.
Yeah.
But if I let go...
Oh, wow, God, it's even brighter.
It's even brighter. So I'm only winding half the time, if you like.
That is brilliant.
That is brilliant. And now I've broken it.
Ellen has the wax for her candle. Now all she needs is a wick.
All right. This is dogbane, and I think it's going to make a fabulous wick for our beeswax candles. Look at those tiny white fibers.
Bashing time again as I help Ellen get at the pure fibres she needs for the wick.
It's like what I pull off my comb every morning.
Ellen's hoping the wick and her beeswax will make an effective candle for the safety lamp. Mike's finishing off the lamp itself, while Jonathan's still battling away on his torch. As day 2 draws to a close, Mike and Jonathan are feeling the pressure. Well, it's crunch day. First job for Jonathan is to get his wind-up mechanism to work.
It's almost working. If this was sprung steel, it would be perfect. Such a simple idea as well. So I'm back to the drawing board. I need to find some much more springy wire, really thick wire.
But he'd better get a move on. Time's running out. Outside, the safety lamp is about to be put to the test. Mike fills a bin with propane to simulate a mine full of combustible gas. First, he tests out the lamp without the top protective gauze.
We have a bin full of propane.
And we have a very anxious Mikey B.
Just be careful, Mike B. Okay. I think we can unequivocally say that's flammable gas and it doesn't like a naked flame.
Now, under the same conditions, Mike tests the fully assembled safety lamp.
Ready, Mike?
Yep.
Ooh, wow. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
You could just see the flame just look... Well, it's really weird.
Well, it exploded, but the explosion didn't spread.
So that's why it works as the perfect safety device. Because in you go. If there's any gas there, it ignites it, but traps it in there. So we would have had, if that happened in the mine, we'd have time to get out before some major explosion. Congratulations. Yeah. Let's go. I'm going to go and check on Jonathan quick. Right, JJ. Hot out there. Exploding gas now. Light.
Yes, it works.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's
Prove
really,
it.
really nice.
Prove it.
We've got a tape measure here, which is storing our energy. You can see it's winding out. So now if I let go...
Wow! Brilliant. It's a tape measure powered light.
It is, and it was there all the time. For the last 3 days, it was there.
Well, you've got moments, and then we're really going to be putting it to the test.
Okay.
Hermione's cloud chamber is ready for its final challenge, with rock samples from the surrounding mountains.
What we've got here is 3 sources. None of us know which are radioactive and which aren't. And it's going to be up to you to judge whether you think they're radioactive or not using the cloud chamber. Are we all ready? Ready for the first sample? Okay. You want to have a look?
I can't see anything at the moment.
So based on this, we'd say it's not radioactive.
Okay, it's not radioactive. You guys are all saying it's not radioactive. Let's see. Not radioactive.
Test sample 2. Can anyone see radioactivity in this rock?
I can.
I can too.
They're very nice tracks. Wow. Yeah. Okay, final answer. Radioactive. Let's see if you're right. Yes! 2 out of 2.
Test 3. Will Hermione get a hat trick?
Oh yeah, that's amazing. Look at all those.
So can we conclude that you think this one?
It has to be.
Without doubt.
Yeah? This one's much more radioactive than that second one. Okay, but let's prove it. Are you right or not? Ready? Yes! 3 out of 3. Guys, we are definitely ready to go down that mine. Let's go.
After 3 days of hard work, it's time to go underground. The team need to explore the mine to see if they can find any silver in it, so Hermione takes the lead. They each have their own headlamp all cleverly wired up to the one hand-cranked generator. Our very own rough science chain gang.
What do we reckon of Jonathan's lights?
Pretty effective.
What do you think?
Well, the candles haven't been spluttering.
Yeah.
So I don't think there are any combustible gases in here. There's certainly been no explosion.
And they're still burning, so there's plenty of oxygen.
Any sign of any silver yet?
Jonathan, being Jonathan, has added an extra feature. He can switch from powering the 4 headlamps in favour of just one brighter working light for Hermione. Just what she needs if she's to identify any possible silver.
Wow, you can see the vein.
Oh, yeah.
Going along the whole roof of the tunnel there. Look, even maybe some copper precipitating out there. You see the blue bit?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can see.
You see the white
yeah. Oh, hang on.
Oh, no.
Get the tape measure going. Oh, no, the tape measure can't have failed. What's happened? Has the mechanism just twanged?
Yeah,
Is that what it was?
I knocked it.
Okay,
It's
so
not as bad as it looks, I think.
it looks terrible from here.
Thank goodness we got the candles.
I know.
But they don't give much light to work by, do they?
It's not straight, is it?
Yeah, I've got it straight.
Oh, great. We're almost there. One more turn and we'll be there. I think. Some light on the other side, please. Can you put the candle?
Okay.
No, there it is. There it is.
Okay, done it?
Yes. Okay, let's see.
Okay.
How we're doing?
Yeah,
Come on,
Yeah.
Good repair, John.
Well done, Julie.
Okay.
That is stressful.
Have the light, yeah.
Yeah, I'll put you on your main beam.
Oh, look here. Fantastic. Okay, it's coming down. Woo!
Wow.
Look, it's really
Look
sparkling.
at that.
Wow.
Is that silver, do you think?
Not silver itself, but
Yeah.
with these type of minerals, you commonly get silver deposited. So I'm reasonably confident, Kate, that rock would contain some silver.
Okay, I want to take that, but I also want to say congratulations to all of you. We've been beautifully lit by Jonathan. Can you collect some more of this? Because we might need it.
Okay.
Wow, well done.
Wow, so sparkling.
Yeah.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
Well, the way Freeview is set up is that people should try and receive UHF Freeview first. Satellite should really only be a fallback option if you live in a country or out in the country, or you live in an area that's maybe shielded from the transmitter. If you go terrestrial, you've got the advantage that you get the mainland channels as well. So that's plus, there's an extra 8 channels there, plus 2 radio channels. So.
If you need help tuning into the digital TV channels, please give us a call. Nelson TV and Video Services, 41 Halifax Street, Milazaka Car Park.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
We're the team at J-Car, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power.
Electronics toys.
Sound systems, cables and much, much more. J-Car.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
I'm Larry London from VOA Music Mix, bringing you news on the hour from around the world, plus music 24/7, from the latest hits to those classic favorites to jazz on Saturday mornings, plus much, much more. You can contact us by Googling Mainland TV or follow us on Facebook. Cheers from the team at Mainland Radio 1 and VOA Music Mix.